Boom. Well, boys, hopefully you can hear me. I would say 2026 is off to a good start. It's off to a good start, man. I mean, can we? It's been a while since I've been live on here, and it's safe to say that I have not been more excited about a Necron release since our damn codex came out. It's just all good. It's just all good. I know we don't have the full knowledge of the points yet, but I think as a Necron community, this answers so many problems that we had. And I'm very excited to go over with you guys today. And my initial thoughts, some combos. Safe to say there are a lot of possible combos with this new release from both of these units that are not explored, which I think is the best part. Just speaking out loud. And we haven't even seen the detachments yet. It's actually crazy. So I figured as far as agenda for the live stream today, I can't be on for like a crazy amount of time. I think tops like an hour and a half, but we want to make it a good hour and a half. All right. So I figure we start with just kind of going over my initial thoughts of the two data sheets. And then kind of towards the end, we'll go over some combos, initially what I'm thinking. And we can also go over some of your guys' questions or thoughts towards the end. I know the chat's probably going to be popping off in here. So if you're just getting off of work, maybe you're hanging out at work, feel free to hang out, chat in the group. I know we're all trying to nerd out today, and we literally have not even seen the detachments yet. I mean, with these data sheets and the detachments coming out, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but it feels like we're just getting another codex. I mean, the combos are just crazy. So let's get into Nekrosor first here. So we got them pulled up on the screen. Hopefully you guys can see that. And let's just go through this together, shall we? So obviously his attacks are real good. You know, he's got a range weapon. It seems like it's like the Hexmark Destroyer. One less AP. He's only got 4 shots. But you know, it's something. I mean, AP2, ignore cover. Sus 2, which is awesome. No complaints there. But his freaking melee, guys, like 12 attacks. It's all Sus 1, which we'll get to in a second, because obviously he's going to benefit from his own aura. So on average, he's going to get 6 hits through at strength 10, AP 3, damage 3. Guys, it's so good, and we're going to talk about it a little later. Like, this guy alone solves so many Necron problems. It's fantastic, okay? Then he's got 6 attacks, of course. Extra attacks, 2, 6, 1, 1. Okay? Abilities. It's safe to say I have read this data sheet like 20 times. Because I was like looking at it, and I'm like, it just keeps going. It just keeps going. He has Deep Strike. He's got Fight First. He's got Deep Strike and Fight First. So good. It's just so good. It's so good, guys. Protective Disciplines. Lone op within 3 inches of a Destroyer Cult model. So don't confuse it with Xeris, because Xeris is any Necron unit. This guy is only Destroyer Cult, but still extremely good. Some initial combos, obviously, if you're running Scorpek Lord, would benefit. If you're running a Hexmark, it would benefit. Your Ophidians, your Scorpek Destroyers, your Scorpek Lord, those type of units, within 3 inches, he's going to get lone up. Freaking fantastic. Let me zoom in on this so you guys can see this maybe a little bit better. Also, let me put it into that, so hopefully the resolution is maybe a little bit higher, so it's a little bit easier to see. So hopefully that's clear for you guys. Let me know if it's not good, but hopefully it's clear enough. The second is the most impactful. Okay, let's not sugarcoat it. Deep Strike fights first. Lone Op, it's all great. I mean, I cannot even believe that is all on one data sheet, but here we are, okay? The sus one, okay? Now, initially reading this, a lot of people were like, it's got to be Destroyer Cult. But that is not the case, because if we zoom in here, it says each time this model makes an attack, if that model has the Destroyer Cult keyword or that enemy unit is the closest eligible target, it gets sus 1. So the best part about this datasheet is like he has the flexibility to, of course, benefit Destroyer Cult models, which is super cool. We haven't seen the new detachments yet, right? So we don't know what's going to exactly happen there. But the added benefit is if you are not Destroyer Cult, but you're the closest enemy model, or in this case, target, eligible target, you're going to get sus 1. So we're going to talk about later how that just opens up the door to so many different combos that Necrons have not had access to. So freaking good. The last one, Prophet of Destruction, more of a niche case scenario. It's kind of one of those like cute add-ons at the end. But the fact that if he destroys a unit, he can give another Destroyer Cult unit reroll 1s to wound. It's a very fringe case if it lines up, because really this is going to happen in the melee stage. So it's one of those things where, you know, you have him charge in with like, you know, Scorpex or a Scorpec Lord or something like that. And he kills like a small unit, and then he can nominate the Scorpex to kill something else. Or there's a fringe case where you could epic challenge, right? Like a character out of a unit, which would count as him killing, you know, a unit. And then that would trigger like Scorpex or something like that to get reroll 1s to wound on that same unit. So that's kind of like interesting tech there. But again, is that worth a CP to use? Probably not. But it's something you could do. Now, the last thing, guys. Yes. The field generator. Like, as if he already didn't have enough stuff, we're just going to give him a blanket 5 of Field of Pain against mortal wounds and psychic attacks as long as he's within 6 inches. It could have been, they could have easily put Destroyer Cult, but they're like, nah, man. It's just going to be any Necron unit. He just got the built-in spider ability, of course, without the vehicle Feel No Pain, right? But, you know, who the frick cares, man? I mean, against the new Demon Detachment, this is super good against. I mean, you're not really seeing Grey Knights in a huge place in the meta right now, but, like, I mean, you're running this guy against Grey Knights. Grey Knights are going to absolutely hate this. So, I mean, this guy is just insane, guys. Honestly. I mean, you will see him in every list that I write up until 11th edition. Every list. Like, that's how good he is. He is so dynamic. He's good in every detachment. He would be amazing in Awaken. We'll talk about this a little later. I want to get ahead of myself. Hypercrypt, Phalanx. He's just good. He's so good. So yeah, that's him. Let's go down to the Nightbringer, another fantastic model. Man, I'm so excited, man. So freaking excited. We haven't even seen the detachments yet. This is just, I am just so excited. Like I said, for the 55 you that are in here, this is crazy. Seriously, appreciate you guys. Happy 2026. Hope you all are doing well. We could not start the year better for us Necron players. I genuinely feel like we got a new codex. Like, with these data sheets and then the 3 new detachments that are coming, the amount of combos that these two open up is just crazy. So cool. There's going to be so much exploring. Nobody knows, you know, on paper, of course, everything looks nice. Of course, we're going to be testing a bunch of stuff behind the scenes. Might be up on the members channel, so I'll keep you guys posted on that. But let's get into the Nightbringer. Okay. Oh boy, the Nightbringer. Now, our avid watchers of the Only Crons podcast, I should have gotten the soundbite out of this, but I vividly remember saying, I was like, yo, please just give the Nightbringer 10-inch movement and give him deep strike. Yep. We got it. We freaking got it. So he's moving 10. He's still T11. One thing to point out, he has a 3-up save rather than a 4-up invul. I mean, he has a 4-up invul, but he also has a 3-up save. Amazing. So a little bit added durability against some of that like chip damage, right, that we've seen. 16 wounds. So he's going to get 4 more wounds, OC 4. Fantastic. Amazing. I'm not complaining at all, okay? Gaze of Death is basically the same, except it's AP 3 now. Still the same damage profile. I'll take an extra blip of AP all day. And then he has the same melee profile. It's already fantastic. Cool. Now, let's go over to the abilities here. Still retains his Feel No Pain. He has Deep Strike. He has the Drain Life ability, functions the same way. And he has Necrodermis. Now, I've been hearing some talk about, oh gosh, like he doesn't like half damage anymore, you know, etc. Totally true. But if you think about it, really the half damage only came into play when it's 4 damage or more. So, yes, you know, if he gets hit by a freaking, you know, tower railgun downfield, not going to be ideal. But these, again, are like very fringe cases. I think overall, when you look at his durability and what he can do, overall, my personal opinion, I think it's a huge glow up for this guy, mainly because he has Deep Strike. And most good players would agree, just him having Deep Strike with the movement 10 makes him a much more dynamic piece, specifically as a rapid ingress threat. But there are also some other interesting things you can do because he does move 10, specifically being able to get on a midfield objective guaranteed turn 1, like if he was in Star Shatter, and then you just react move him if you need to get him off. Like there's a lot of interesting things that I think are undiscovered by both of these data sheets. I think that's what makes it so exciting right now. Yeah, so I definitely, console gaming, we're on the same page, man. The -1 damage is just good. It's, again, yes, again, the Nightbringer is still gonna, like, if he gets run into some Meltas or whatever, you know, he was kind of screwed regardless. And then against those, like, fringe cases of, like, really high damage anti-tank guns. But the thing is with those guns, remember, guys, as well, a lot of times, like, with the Hammerhead with Tau, it's only 2 shots. It's like a lot of times they're going to shoot twice. They're going to get 1 wound through. And, you know, good player, like you roll it. Let's say you fail the invul. A lot of times you might just spend the CP just to save the unit. You know, and you get a reroll on the 4-up, you save it. And then your opponent's like, well, I don't know really what else I'm going to really hope to do because they're kind of banking on that damage to go through, right? So, yeah, I think this is fantastic. I don't know. I've heard some rumblings as far as Nekrosor being around like 165. I think that's like an absolute steal if that's the case. I mean, anything under 200 for that guy, I think is like really good. The Nightbringer, I don't know. I don't know if we have like official points yet, but like if he was around even 350, I still think he's takeable. We'll have to see. But let's talk about combos, okay? So let's talk about, since we're on the Nightbringer, let's just talk about the Nightbringer. Okay, we'll pull up his we'll just pull up the epicness of the Nightbringer here. And there we go. Okay. Let's talk about the Nightbringer. And then, so I'm going to talk about some combos. And then at the end, if you guys want to drop some questions, you want to pick my brain about some stuff, just drop it in the chat and I will try to get to it. There's a lot of you in here. I can't believe there's already 74 people in here. Are you kidding me? Love you guys, man. It's awesome. Feel free. We're just hanging out, talking the new data sheets, all that good stuff. 2026 off to a good start. Oh man, 315, dude. 315. Oh my. If that's true, actually criminal, guys. They want to sell this guy. I'll tell you what, they want to sell, guys, they want to sell these models. They want to sell these models. Guys, this is honestly just crazy because I feel like I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I feel like I have enough to experiment with without even getting the data sheets to like entertain me for at least the next like 3 to 4 months. The amount of combos you could do with this, like these 2 data sheets. I'm telling you guys. It's actually crazy. So the fact that we're getting that and the detachments later this week is just, it's just so cool. Dude, there's 81 people in here. Are you kidding me? This is awesome. Appreciate you guys. It's been a while. It has been a while since I have done a live stream, but you know, when we do the live streams, I gotta get on here. So, all right, let's talk about the Nightbringer. So let's talk about things that you can do with him. Really, I think that opens it up, right? So he is on a bigger base. He is on an 80 millimeter, which is like Void Dragon size, right? So we do have to keep that in mind. Now, the biggest thing that the Nightbringer opens up, like I was mentioning earlier, is Deep Strike. And that was the one thing, you know, over the past year, you guys were like, yo, kind of like, why aren't you running Catan? Like, why aren't you running the Nightbringer anymore? And, you know, the biggest thing was the fact that because they didn't have Deep Strike and they moved 6 against really good players, like it's too telegraphed, right? Like what you can do. So the ability for him to have Deep Strike and specifically using him as a ingress threat that moves 10 is, with that durability profile, is amazing. Because let's just take like Hypercrypt, for example. I mean, Hypercrypt, you could, I mean, the fact that you can just uppy downy him, so you can have him, you know, come down via Deep Strike, rapid ingress, like let's say you're going like you're going second. You're able to charge on the natural expansion, and if your opponent's not ready for it, you clear their natural expansion, you deny their primary, and then they have to answer that Nightbringer the next turn. And I don't know if you guys just saw his data sheet, but he is a lot harder to kill than he used to be. I mean, well, not a lot harder, but he is definitely more durable for sure. And we know how many players have been scammed on a Nightbringer being at 2 wounds left and still alive. So it's one of those things where the Nightbringer having the ability to drop in on an ingress in Hypercrypt, charge in, eliminate a resource, and your opponent has to respond. And if they do not get rid of him, the ability for him to then come back up again and do the same thing is just such good value. Such good value. So initially thinking, like, looking at these 2 data sheets, I think Hypercrypt is very much back on the map. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say it's like our best detachment, but I think it does make Hypercrypt a lot more interesting. And I'm going to talk about a couple things with Nekrosor that I think really elevate Hypercrypt as well. But staying on the Nightbringer, obviously in Star Shatter Arsenal, he's going to be amazing. Again, you really use him as the same type of play style where you're keeping him in Deep Strike. You rapid ingress him in somewhere, and you know, if you position things right, maybe he's getting reroll 1s to hit and wound. He doesn't really need the +1 to hit per se, but again, being able to react move a Satan, being able to heal like on an objective, even though that's like pretty situational, not something you really need, but it's mainly the react move with Satan, extremely good. And I've even thought about ways where, you know, especially with Star Shatter. Actually, let me say this. I think the best part about this is the era of spamming DDAs and the Silent King are over. It's over, guys. As of today, it is over. All right. Not saying DDAs aren't still good. I still think you see them for sure. But it's a new era. It is a new era today. All right. So let's talk about Star Shatter. So Star Shatter, interesting, where I've been starting to think about some ideas where, you know, even Nightbringer, because his ability to move 10 now gives you the flexibility to essentially guarantee that he gets on a midfield objective turn 1. Now, granted, he is only OC4, but the classic example of like wanting your opponent to essentially overcommit on resources or some of their valuable resources early, so then you can return back or punch back and return. I think he's extremely interesting. So putting him on a natural, turn 1 with a react move where he could potentially, if you do need to in a pinch, react move off, out of line of sight, and then your opponent exposed all those resources, and then now he's moving 10 again, and he could be like, I mean, at that point, he could be like literally in your opponent's deployment zone, because we're talking, 20 inches, maybe he advanced first turn. It's good. It's good. So Star Shatter, I think he could be great. And then with Awakened as well, I think he could be very interesting. I think as of right now, without seeing the new detachments, I think Awakened could, I hate to say it, guys, I do, but I think Awakened could be back to our best detachment with Nekrosor. And I'll talk about some things that are kind of going through my head as far as like play style. Again, this is all talking like on paper. We don't know until I actually get it like on the board and test some things, but it seems pretty good. So, and same thing, Nightbringer and Awakened Dynasty, right? So obviously can't bring him back because he's not an infantry character. But it just gives us that reliable damage in the midfield that it just seems super good. So let's get to the guy of the hour. Okay, let's get to the main. There is 94 viewing. Actually crazy. Seriously, guys, really appreciate the support. Just going over if you dropped in here, just going over the new data sheets, and I'm in the process now of talking about the combos. Now, if you guys just joined, you joined at the right time, because let's be honest, this is the guy that's unlocking the combos, okay? They could not have written a better data sheet, man. Like, it is actually crazy, this guy. And if he stays at 165, oh my god, dude. Oh my god, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited. Okay. So let's talk about this. So let's go through the detachments. So let's talk about Awaken first. So basically, as you know, in Awaken is probably the biggest scamming detachment of all time for your opponent, unfortunately, and I think it's about to get a lot worse. Now, if they don't change anything, initial thoughts right now, you could run the Warrior Brick. You could run the Scorpek Lord with the Feel No Pain. You could run Xeris, and you could run him. And then you could also have room for 3 units of 3 Scorpeks and 2 more Scorpek Lords. And that feels really, really good to start. Now, I will say that the jank with this is pretty crazy in terms of you could, hypothetically, you could have Xeris and this guy on a natural expansion, and you could have a Scorpek Lord staged up behind a wall, or behind a Terrain Patriot, where he's basically behind Nekrosor, so he's able to give Nekrosor lone op, but your opponent really isn't able to shoot them because they're too far away or behind a wall, right? So you could have 7 OC, or no, 6 OC, because they're both 3 OC. So 6 OC on a natural expansion. Both of those characters are lone op now. And you tell your opponent, you're like, hey, you can come over here. You can shoot Xeris. You can overcommit, try to kill Xeris. I'm going to bring him back up. And then if you charge in, I'm going to heroic with Mr. Nekrosor. And I'm going to fight first. And if you didn't see his profile already, I'm just going to go back down. 6 attacks, really the main one we're looking at here. 6 attacks, hitting on 2s, 10-3-3 sus. So on average, he's going to get 6 hits through. On average, this guy kills an Exalted 8-bound unit. Because on average, he'll get 4 wounds through. They'll save, if they spike, they'll save 2 of the 4. Crazy. Sanguinary Guard. All of our problem, this guy solves so many problems, because I mean, at the end of the day, Necrons hate melee rush, right? So World Eaters, Sisters, like Blood Angels, right? Victrix Guard coming up, right? All of these matchups, Necron's it's not the best. And now this guy single-handedly takes those matchups to, like, not gonna say like unwinnable, but like it solves the problem. It solves the problem where you have a unit that heroics and fights first, and your opponent has to think twice, where it's like, dang, I'm gonna actually lose half of my unit potentially before I even get to swing. And that is just crazy value. And then at that same time, if they kill, let's say, I mean, obviously if they're a good player, they're going to try to go after Xeris, but if you rinse most of the unit, they're not going to have the output to actually kill him. And then they just expose all of those resources for nothing. And you just keep moving on. Just keep moving on. So I think with Awakened, that type of combo is very interesting. I mean, you basically have 3 Xerises running around. I mean, it's just actually crazy, guys. I mean, I don't know how this is okay. I mean, on paper, at least, it just sounds not okay. But we will see. I think that is going to be very, very strong. This guy also, the other thing that I'm thinking about, because you guys know I do love the Warriors. This guy solves the problem with the Warriors, right? Now, I will say, his base is pretty big. So if you have him like in the midfield, whether you're playing UKTC, GW, or WT, especially WTC, right? It could be a little awkward as far as with a heroic, you have to bear in mind, because his base is so big. So you have to account for him being able to legally land somewhere, right? And his base to be able to clear, which sometimes, like, it may look like a 4 or 5 inch charge, but it might turn into like an 8 because his base is so big. Now, with that said, if he is properly positioned, I love how Slipped, he mentions the Warriors would get sustained. Oh, don't worry, man. Stick around, man. I'm going to be going over that here in just a second. We're just scratching the surface on this guy. Okay, so Nekrosor, like with the Warrior Brick, right? The biggest problem with the Warrior Brick is you have stuff that comes in like 10 Zerks, right? You know, whatever unit it may be, okay? Orcs, that sort of thing. All of a sudden, if you have this guy in the midboard where you're essentially mirroring him to that one unit that can essentially kill your brick, now all of a sudden you have a heroic unit with fight first that can take out half the unit, and then it just neuters their output. And you're like, well, I guess you don't have enough to kill the brick, and then if you do want to kill Nekrosor, you can, but then I'm just going to bring him back. So it's up to you. Up to you. So yeah, I think this guy, he's going to be really good in Awakened. He's going to be really good. Now let's go into Star Shatter. Okay, let's go into Star Shatter. Now, I haven't had a ton of time yet to like actually brainstorm some lists, okay? But these are just kind of like some initial things that I'm thinking about, okay? So with Star Shatter, I have also been really liking 20 Warriors in Star Shatter, mainly because you can give the Ignore Cover enhancement to a Royal Warden. So essentially, if you're running Xeris, who is also pretty good in Star Shatter, personal opinion, I think he's just great. Now, those Warriors are going to be AP2 with Ignore Cover, which is a very good profile. I can't think of, honestly, I mean, a more reliable profile in the game than a high-volume shooting unit that is AP2 with Ignore Cover. Now, against Armor Contempt 2-up, it's not ideal because they're still going to be saving on 3-ups, but it is still a very significant amount of volume. Which is really nice. So basically with Nekrosor, if you hadn't already noticed, his ability, for those that just are joining, welcome. There's 96 of you in here. Actually crazy. His Murder Madness Aura ability, okay? Each time a model in that unit makes an attack, if that model has the Destroyer Cult keyword, or that enemy unit is the closest eligible target, that attack has the Sus 1 ability. Now, with Warriors, the reason why I love this with 20 Warriors is because the footprint of that brick is so big. So what you can do is you could run in Star Shatter, you run Oricon, who I haven't even gotten to yet, guys. Nobody's been talking about Oricon. Star Shatter with this guy. Get ready, okay? Oricon, Royal Warden, okay? And the brick is going to have a 5-up Feel No Pain against mortals and psychic attacks in Star Shatter. 4-up Invul. You run the Tomb Crawlers in there for the modifiers, right? So you don't get the... it ignores hit and wound modifiers. Added bonus, sometimes it comes up. Cool. And it's going to be 40 shots with sus lethal, rerolling 1s to hit and wound with +1 to hit if they're on an objective. Ignore cover. Now, it gets even better. So, the one thing I like about Star Shatter with this build is the fact that you have Oricon and the Royal Warden. Now, Oricon is interesting because, like, let's say your opponent does go in. It's less than ideal. They send their one main unit in that's going to kill the warriors. And let's say they're pretty much successful, right? I couldn't heroic correctly, you know, something got messed up, you know, whatever it may be. You guys play Warhammer enough. Sometimes you plan things out and they just don't go right. That's why we love this game. You got to change it up on the fly, right? They kill most of the brick. Now, all of a sudden, you got Oricon with reroll 1s to hit and wound, freaking sus 1 on his ability. So he's got 6 attacks. On average, he's going to get a sus through. And, I mean, and then full mortals, man. Full devs, I mean. Which are mortals, basically. But I think it's super, super interesting, man. Yeah, so that in Star Shatter, this guy is going to be great. Again, he's going to be great. Let's talk about Hypercrypt. I mean, I think this guy unlocks some very interesting things in Hypercrypt. I think my gut tells me he's probably, we're going to see, man, it's tough to say, man. I think Awakened initially, this guy I think is absolutely crazy. My second would probably be Hypercrypt. Him and the Nightbringer. So, like, I was thinking about something. So, you could run Hypercrypt. I still have to figure out some sort of list. But Hypercrypt initially, you could run 20 warriors, Plasmancer, Royal Warden if you wanted to. You give them a Rising Tyrant. They're going to drop in. And they are going to be 40 shots, sus lethal, crit 5s, full hit rerolls, AP2 because it runs theirs. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I haven't even gone to Canoptic Court yet. I ain't got to Canoptic Court. That's the initial one that's crazy. This guy next to a freaking Tesseract Vault. Like, I was thinking about you could run him, Nightbringer, Tesseract Vault, Silent King. You'd have to figure out some way to maybe, you know, and like scoring pieces, obviously Ophidians, Hexmark, some flayed ones, that sort of thing. Fill it out, Scarabs, that sort of thing. But your core is that, right? Tesseract Vault with reroll 1s to hit and wound, and freaking, it'll have a 5-up Feel No Pain against mortals and psychic attacks, and it'll have sus 1 if it's shooting the closest enemy unit. Oh, it doesn't affect Titanic. Ah, you're right. Okay, I lied. All right, so no sus for the Tesseract Vault. Glad, good call out. Good call out. Okay, so no sus on the Titanic. That was the initial thought. So I guess it would just be on the Silent King. But regardless, Hypercrypt, I think this guy is super interesting because, I mean, getting sustained on the freaking even on the Silent King. I mean, you're getting sus on the melee attacks and potentially on the shooting is just, and he gets the blanket Feel No Pain. I'm just like, oh man, dude, it's so crazy. It's so freaking, like, there's just so many different combos. So that, yeah, Hypercrypt, I think is gonna be great. And then let's see, what was we talked about? Yeah, I think we talked about that. Canoptic Court. Obviously, you can give the Immortals, right? Sus, Lethal, Plasmids. I think Canoptic Court, tough to say. I think that the other detachments right now, I think, are still going to outshine Canoptic Court personally. But, again, that's going to take some testing to see. But initial thoughts, I think that's what I'm kind of feeling. And then Phalanx, I think also this guy could be super interesting. A shout out to freaking Matt Bell and his list with the T-Volt. I think if you weave this guy in somehow into basically it's like double Stalker, double Praetorian, T-Volt, Silent King, and then you weave this guy in there, it would be super interesting because now you get the crit 5s, potentially even on the Silent King. And then, you know, obviously in Phalanx you have the -1 damage and the OC strat. So super strong. And then you could also combo that in Phalanx with freaking Lich Guard. Right? So Lich Guard, that would equate out to, what is that, like +1 attack, right? Essentially, because crit 5s, they each have 3 attacks, right? For the swords. It's been a while since I've used the Lich Guard, but I mean, even that's super interesting. I mean, just so much to try out with that one ability. It's just so freaking cool. And just trying to think here. So those are kind of some initial combos I'm thinking of. I think overall, I'm still the most high on Star Shatter and Awaken, pending what these new detachments are, for sure. That's what's crazy. I think Necrons single-handedly have absolutely gotten better with these data sheets without even the new detachments in play, for sure. Because this Nekrosor guy solves a lot of our melee rush problems, and it's pretty good. It's pretty freaking good. So with that, you guys, the 94 of you, or 95 of you at least right now that are in here, seriously appreciate you. If you guys want to start dropping some questions, because it might take me a long time to scroll up here and see. If you guys want to start dropping them in the chat, or just my initial thoughts on some things, let me know. Or if you guys want to go through and like build a list together, I can pop that open too. Whatever you guys are feeling. So, Orimus Prime synergy, and basically they harv a crit 5 strat, but almost nothing that has useful crits. I mean Prime. I mean the Lich Guard high volume crits. You could do. I mean even the Silent King. I don't know if you spend a CP for that, but I don't know. I mean I don't think he's not I mean he's literally interesting in every detachment because of that ability. Like honestly. We thinking Catan other than Nightbringer will get Deep Strike. I don't know. So have you guys been talking about? So this is interesting. Are you guys saying that they're gonna update the other Catan shards with the new detachment? Is that what they've said? Did they say that specifically, or is that just a rumor? What would you do with Hypercrypt with these guys? So Hypercrypt, I think you keep one of them honestly, just as an ingress. 1000%. Like Ingress Deep Strike is so strong. Ingress Deep Strike Fight First, even stronger off of a Heroic Intervene. Like it is such a, and especially for how hard this guy hits and how durable he is, like so freaking good. So freaking good. So yeah, agreed. It's Immortals with Teslas, and that's about it. Giving easy sus 1 and that stat potentially cracked. Yeah, it could be good. We'll have to do some testing and see. You think with all the Catans getting this update, we push Silent King out? No, I don't think so. I mean, Silent King is still a good data sheet. I think Silent King still with the -1 damage right now in the meta and Star Shatter is still really good. And the fact now that I think him in Star Shatter with Nekrosor synergizes extremely well, because giving the king sus 1, because a lot of times if you guys seen like with Silent King, generally like the first 2 turns, like he's doing indirect, you know, he's picking off some targets, and then usually like turn 3, turn 4 is kind of like that push turn, which really synergizes with Nekrosor as well, because he has lone op. If you push him with the Silent King and him getting sus 1 on his shooting and his melee, super good. So yeah, I don't think the Silent King's going anywhere. I think we do see definitely less DDAs in lists. I mean, this, like, guys, we know, I mean, the Necron lists are going to be crazy. It's going to be like the Wild Wild West for the next like 2 months trying to figure some of this stuff off. It's going to be so awesome. Can't wait. I've got my first GT in a couple of weeks running Star Shatter Arsenal. Any tips for my first GT? Dude, Slip, first GT. Let's go, man. Let's go. Dude, first GT, honestly, dude, just have fun, man. Like, just go in. I mean, that's the best part about this hobby, guys. We know. I mean, that's what keeps the it's the social aspect, man. It's playing with your buddies. It's having fun. You know, you're probably not, you know, maybe not going to do as well as you'd hope, but the best part is you're going to be playing against some freaking good players. You're going to come back home. You're going to learn a freaking ton. Like, you will probably learn more in that one tournament than you have in the last like 2 months, probably. Easily, you know, it's going to be great. So just have a great time, enjoy yourself, and it's the best part of this hobby, man. It's the big tournaments, the social aspect. So just have a great time. Does an Awaken list have both Nekrosor and Nightbringer? Absolutely, yeah, abso-freaking-lutely. I am writing a list right now, trying to figure that out, but yeah, absolutely, I think so. Cryptek detachment might be allowing Cryptek to attach to destroyer units. That sounds amazing. Yeah, maybe we'll have to see. I don't know. I think all the Catan will get deep strike. Yes, they said all Catans get movement plus. Where did they say that? I'm surprised I missed that. So did they say that in the did they say that in the community page? They said Dylan versus Nightbringer, go for it, give the people what they want. Yeah. No, dude, Tom, you got to come over, man. Come on, man. I can just proxy the Nightbringer. Let's go, man. And then we can do a collab battle report. And you can tell them how busted this stuff is. They said they will all be modifying all Catan. Wow, that is... I mean, guys, we are basically getting a new codex this week, if that's the case. If they are changing all the Catan to move 10 and have deep strike like just flat, that's gonna be really good. That's gonna be really good. I'll get some extra movement, save and wounds, keep them on par with their Mormon counterpart. Okay, live reaction. Yeah, below the Nightbringer in the article, they state the other Catan are getting the characteristic exchange. Wow. Okay, no mention of deep strike specifically. Yo, if they're doing that though, that is, man, guys, that is gonna be crazy. What are your current thoughts on race nowadays? I still think race are good. I think with I don't think race are as auto include. I still think you're gonna see them because again, the race, they fulfill a very specific role in terms of they're one of the few units, excuse me, that we have in the codex that can get on an objective turn one and reliably stay there. You know, outside of some other stuff, warriors can do it if you're running the overlord because they can move 11. Again, you're looking for those units that can guarantee get on the objective because on average, most objectives I think are like 8.1 inches outside of your deployment zone, unless you're playing like hidden supplies, and I think it's like 5 inches. Man, I like nerd out over this game apparently, but yeah, I think it's like 8.1. So essentially, Nightbringer. These new Catan essentially can be able to reliably get on the objective and still do an action if they need to, which I think is very interesting, especially in Star Shatter where you have the ability to react move. So if your opponent does overcommit on that Nightbringer or one of the Catan turn one, you can react move it either off or reposition it, and it makes it more interesting. So I don't think race are going to be as auto include as they have been. I still think you're going to see them though in the competitive environment. They are still a very, very good and very strong unit. So, Silent King plus Catan equals 12 inches. Yes, it does. Yeah, Silent King. You're still going to see the Silent King played. He is good. Silent King also solves huge issue for Catan, getting to reroll ones. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, he doesn't benefit DDAs that much, as DDAs actually don't shoot the close elbow unit all the time. Yes and no. I mean, a lot of times in Star Shatter, towards the late game, you're playing the DDAs a lot more aggressively because they are OC5. So you kind of have to think of them as a piece where you can, flat 6 advance them forward, so they're moving, 16 inches or 14 inches on a pivot, and you could just blast something. I think it's kind of a fringe case. I personally wouldn't revolve my game plan around synergizing Nekrosor with DDAs. I don't think that's his strength. You really want to synergize his sus ability around high volume stuff. So that's going to be like your race, Silent King, Warriors, Immortals, Scorpex, those sort of things, to really get really good value out of his ability. So, frickin' Manila, man. Any Necron addicts going to Palm Springs in 2 weeks? Yo, hey man, hey Manila, man. We got to get a game in, man. I mean, I got a 5-up filament pain against psychic attacks now, and those psi cannons. They might be psychic. I don't know, man. I don't know. But if rules drop in time for warbands, let's abuse 12 stands, big brain game. Dude, I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. You don't gotta ask me twice. I mean, let's do it, baby. Could you pair Nekrosor with a hex mark for the lone op double team? Absolutely, you can. Yeah, that's some things I'm thinking about. I think that combo could be extremely strong in Hypercrypt. Yeah, it's super, man. It is really gross, the combos you guys can do. I mean, you could have Nekrosor out in the open. You could do a similar combo like you do with Xeris. Of course, warn your opponent about it. Don't be this guy, okay? Even though I'm telling you, don't be this guy. But you could wrap a hex mark in 3 inches away from Nekrosor, and then all of a sudden give him lone op in your end of your movement phase. So, very good combo. But tell your opponent you can do that beforehand. Don't be an ass, all right? Let's see here. So, man, you guys are blowing up the chat here, man. I love it. Okay, so Deceiver, Void Dragon, Transcendent Stand, Shards. Okay, extra movement, first person. Okay, you guys are explaining that. Kind of like, can we get a list of units that one shot the new Catan? Dude, I can't give away that information. Come on now, that'll be in the team channel. All right. Dude, there are units that can still one shot it. I think it's the same premise. Actually, you know what could actually one shot it is the Warriors. So, guys, I'm telling you, just run the 20 Warriors in Hypercrypt, and they're running the Nightbringer. You're like, cool, man. Drop your 20 Warriors now. Gone. That sucker is gone. That's how. See, so that's how you kill the Nightbringer, guys. You just have to play Necrons. That's the only way to do it, okay? I mean, come on, man. You got to know that. Like, the only way to beat Necrons is you got to play Necrons. That's just, I mean, come on, man. All right, what a dearth of choices we're being afforded. How are we doing to fit all this stuff in our list? Yeah, we're dropping down on DDAs, Easy Elliott. We're dropping down, all right? The days of 3 DDAs and the Silent King are over. Silent King is still relevant. Are we still going to see a DDA or two in lists? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's still a good data sheet. I mean, they're still amazing. I think it just opens up the door for much more interesting plays, right? And the thing is, too, is that DDAs, again, it's a lottery cannon, right? Where if I charge the Nightbringer in, I know what I'm getting, right? So it's a lot easier to math the damage, like at higher level tables. With the arc, it's like, well, I mean, a lot of times with an arc, it's like you kind of create worst case scenario. You're like, okay, I'll for sure do at least 4 damage to this vehicle, right? If I spike high, it's probably 12. If I average, maybe it's 8. But worst case is like 4, right? So, like, Nightbringer goes in, you can just wreck, right? Let's see. Lore Master Marcus, what's up, man? So it sounds like you are still building your Necron Army. Dude, welcome. Best purchase after Combat Patrol suggestions. If you don't already have warriors, I would get some warriors. And if you can afford it, I know these model kits are going to be expensive. Like, I'd be the first to say, and money ain't growing on trees. All right. But if you can, I would absolutely pick up both of these models. They are going to be good for a long time because they just have good rules. So that would be my recommendation. And the Nightbringer, dude, that model. I mean, both the models look just so freaking cool. Agree with you. Race and spam being broken up from the meta is the biggest thing. Nekrosor and updates. Yeah. Yep. It's gonna be great. New models beefy, but I think Dylan still one shots it. Yeah, Tom, I'll talk about that later. But I don't know if you know this, but we have a 5-up feel no pain against psychic attacks. So I would go for that. Would help against demons. Yeah, Pantheon of Woe, that new detachment, I think that's got to be a Catan. It's got to be a Catan detachment. How many DDAs do you think will be standard now? I don't think it'll be running 3 anymore. I'm going to be full. Hey, this is what you guys come here for. I'm going to be fully transparent. I cannot believe there's 140 of you in here right now. What is going on? Okay, well, I appreciate the support, but hot take, the list I'm writing right now, 0 DDAs. So we'll see if that holds up, but you heard it here first. So that's how I feel. I'm not saying DDAs aren't good. I'm not saying they're not good. I'm just saying that I think we got some interesting options that are better than that. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, trying with Immortals. I think Immortals is interesting. I just like him better in Warriors. It goes back to the fact that, again, okay, he has the sus 1 ability, right? So when you guys are writing these lists, a big thing you want to think about is how can I synergize that ability with the maximum number of shots? And the immediate things that come to mind are Warriors, because you're getting 40 shots, right? So essentially that ability is benefiting 40 dice rather than 20 dice from Immortals. Now, granted, Immortals can maybe hit a little bit harder. They're a little bit less expensive. But Nekrosor is getting a lot more value out of that ability, right? Let's see. Mighty Clark, I'm hoping I can get good enough for this year to take Nekrosor Tacoma open this year. Bro, that would be awesome. Hey, I'll see you there. I already blocked out the schedule, so if you come up there, please come say hi. It'd be awesome to meet you. Why wouldn't you run 3 DDAs? It's still the best gun platform. It is still the best gun platform, but it's too... The problem with 3 DDAs... like full transparency, it's like I'm going to a GT this weekend and I'm running 3 DDAs. It's very telegraphed, you know? And it's the one thing that's decently good into Victrix Guard. But now with these new data sheets, I think we have other things where we can play the game differently, where we don't need to just like blast guns downfield, is the main thing. Again, that's just my play style. And that's the beautiful part of this game, is you can play it in so many different ways. That's why we keep coming back to it. You know, one person can write a list and do really well with it, and I could play it and just do terrible, but then I could also write a list and it makes sense in my head and do really well. So that's what's so fun about this game, why we all keep coming back. So 2 damage lethals plus sus 1 on 5s. Yes, please. Yep, absolutely. Toast Butter, Scorps will reroll hits, lethals from Lord, sus dev, and reroll once to win. You're telling me, man. You're telling me. Dude, the freaking score pack brick in Awakened, sus, lethal, full rerolls to hit, dev wounds. It's gonna be good. I cannot freaking wait. Pacific Northwest equals PNW. Yes, Melon 175. You are correct, man. Based here in the Portland area. Fire Dragons do it super easily. Yeah, I mean, they could do it for sure. They could do it. But Eldar, we're generally a pretty good matchup into Eldar. And the thing is that, I mean, yes, they can do it. Not an ideal target, but also they might whiff. Because 4-up invuls, you never know. You never know. Also, Al-Katan actually viable now with the movement buff. Yeah. Fire Dragons picked up my Silent King. Yeah, I mean, Fire Dragons would do that. Look, Eldar is still good. Okay, even with the changes or whatever, they're still good. They are no slouch. Geez, guys, there is so much going on here. I'm trying to keep up. Okay. Did the Celtic Cup second year, November, great fun. Did better than expected. Used a lot of your advice, so thank you. Oh man, appreciate that. I'm glad I helped out, dude. I'm glad I helped out. That's the best part about this. I love just learning. I don't claim to be like the best player in the world, but I do. I do think I'm a pretty good player and can pass a lot of knowledge onto you guys just to get better at the game. Just because this hobby has just. I played in 3rd edition, came back in 10th edition right at the start, and these past 3 years or 2.5 years, I guess technically, it's crazy to see how much the hobby has grown. I think in the best way, because I talk about this like with the team a lot too, where it's I think with technology, a lot of things like are kind of dividing people, unfortunately, or keeping people more isolated. And the thing about this hobby is it brings people together, I think, in the best way. And it doesn't matter where you come from or what you're doing. Like, we all just like love this hobby and this game. And that's what just makes it so much fun. And I think it's only going to continue to grow at an exponential rate that it's doing, because I think people are just craving that, to get out of the house and connecting with people, just having making a day out of it and hanging out with your buddies, grabbing some drinks. I mean, that's the best part about this game. I mean, winning is fun too, but that's the best part, and never lose sight of that. High volume 1 damage attacks will still work against it. Yep, absolutely. Very keen to run some Necrons now. There's a unit that moves 10 that does something. Hey, man. I mean, race moved 10. They just didn't really do much of anything. But yes, you are correct. You are correct. U500 Worlds box. Let's see here. Yeah, Deceiver move. Dude, if all the Catan are going to be moving 10 and Deep Strike, actually crazy. That feels like we got another 3 new data sheets, right? I mean, that like fundamentally just completely changes how you use those units. 20 warriors with a Plasmancer, Nekrosor, and Xeris. Yeah, that in Hypercrypt. So, yeah, Misled 743. Guys, if you guys weren't here earlier, think about this. Hypercrypt, a Rising Tyrant on a Plasmancer, 20 warriors, full hit rerolls, lethal, sus, crit 5s. It's pretty good. Pretty good. New Destroyer Detachment is about to turn us into World Eaters. Potentially. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I mean, we have not even seen the new detachments yet. That is what is crazy. I mean, if they drop tomorrow, that'd be cool. Wednesday or Thursday. I got a little bit more time on Wednesday and Thursday. So I'll definitely be like, we're definitely hanging out again. I'm just letting you guys know. When they drop the detachments, we're hanging out again. Okay, so we're going live again. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to practice, and I'm here for all of it. All right. Imagine Xeris, Necrosor, and Scorpic Lord in a Ghost Arc on the way to the objective. Oh man, dude, I want to talk about it, man. It's gonna be so good. Chowzo, did we get points on the new stuff? I'm at work and can't check. Okay, so supposedly right now, don't quote me on this. 165 for Necrosor, crazy. 315 for the Nightbringer. Criminal. If that's true. We'll see. What would be insane would be a stealth release update on this model. Yeah, we'll see. Probably not. I would imagine they don't. I mean, who knows? I mean, we'll see on the other Catans. I would be surprised if they did that. I'm sure Deceiver still keeps stealth, but I would be surprised if they add that to the other ones. But who knows? Maybe they do. Yeah, that makes sense. If you can actually connect with Catan's EDAs are probably the worst choice for damage. Yeah, I think that's my kind of opinion as well. I think we have much more reliable ways now to connect our damage and kind of combat the melee matchup where You don't necessarily need DDAs. Do Scorpix need a detachment buff before they're more than just trading units? They get blapped as soon as they charge and get their attack off. Mids, yes. I mean, I feel like one of the new detachments is probably going to give them advance in charge. That's the one thing that's like missing from our book. So I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. Granted, they're still fulfilling the same role. But they're going to do it like much better now because they're getting the buffs from Nekrosor if they're within range. Mainly it's the sus, right? And they do have a decent amount of attacks because you have a Scorpec Lord in there, you're getting 4 from him, and then 12 from the Scorpex that are all re-rolling hits, plus 1 hit if they're an Awaken, and they're getting lethal sus dev wounds. Like, actually, like they're just going to wreck anything. And then you can extremely good into Victrix Guard. Like, one, maybe not Calgar's brick, but the Scorpec Lord and 3 Scorpex charging in should be able, on average, to wipe one of those units, especially with Necrosor now. We should be pretty close. Because in Awaken, you can give them +1 strength and +1 AP. So you get a strength 8, AP 3. So you can armor contempt and still save on 4s. But being able to wound on 2s, granted you're going to be -1 wounds, so you're winning on 3s. Very good. Very, very good. All right, so if I'm running 9 Scorpex, how many Lords should I run with this? Dude, run 3 Lords. What are you doing, man? If you're going to run Mighty Clark, if you're going to run 9 Scorpex, you run 3 Lords. Just go full gas, no brakes, man. Full gas, no brakes. Oh my god, just realized giving Scorpex sus 1 with the Lord actually makes the lethal that the Lord gives no longer anti-stun with the plasma. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, man. We're here to open up the eyes, okay? We're just here to give you the answers, the combos. All right. It's actually crazy what you can do with this guy. Are you playing in the team tournament in Portland next month? You know it, man. You know it. So we will see you there, Lore Master Marcus, man. Or no, sorry, that was Evolve German, E590. Yes, I will be there. So, if you see me, come say hi. Let's talk. The list I'm looking at is 10 Immortals with Gauze, Illuminor, Necrosor, and the Plasmancer. Yeah, try it out and see. I'm not saying it's bad. I think I'm just a little bit more high on running Warriors with Necrosor rather than Immortals, but I think it still could be good. Looking forward to growing my army and hitting up some events for fun. Lore Master Marcus, awesome, man. Dude, welcome to the hobby, dude. And glad you're hanging out with us, man. Let's see. Chazo Awaken is going to be sick with new models, but super curious about new detachments. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I don't think all the Katana are getting the same changes. Are getting the same changes, just my spec. Yeah, probably not. What do you want? Dead on the table. Do that to it. Yeah, I mean, literally. Let's see. Yep. Feels like we're getting just catching up with some of the questions here. Please just update the Deceiver model. Score Lord, 6 Scorpex, and Night Sight's gonna be fun. Oh yeah, that could be interesting too. Yeah, Charles, I was expecting him to be like 185-ish, maybe like 170, but yeah, 165. Yeah, he is priced to move, as they would say. He is priced to move. He will be, guys, he will be in every Necron competitive list going forward. For sure. For sure. Yeah, I truly hope they give us Lords in its own box, potentially. Yeah, that is the one thing that needs updates, and the freaking Locust Destroyers. I'm new. Mitch Sports, I'm new to 40K and so happy I went Necrons for my first army. I pre-ordered the battalion and both the big baddies because I literally need all of them. Christmas came a couple weeks late, but now, hey, well, welcome, man. Glad you're hanging out. I mean, you picked the best faction, man. I mean, let's be honest. You picked the best faction. All right. It is real. Us Necron players, we have been eating good this whole edition. So, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Ruckus got my Scorpic lore from Troy. Nice. Catching up here. Sweet. See you there. Oh, awesome, man. Yeah, see you there, dude. I'm excited. We actually, so I have a GT coming up this weekend. 5-rounder. Pretty small GT. Nothing crazy. And then we're really prepping for, I have a big team tournament coming up. Very excited about, which is an 8-man with my team. Yeah, it's going to be a great time. So very excited about that. That'll be like the second week of February. So a lot of big tournaments coming up, which will be fun. So very excited to see how we can do. Yeah, we don't get sus 3 on Immortals with Tesla. That would be awesome though. That would be awesome in a sec. Let's see. What are predictions for the Catan detachment? Oh, that's a good question. I'll say that for the end here. So basically just an auto take. Would you be cool if detachment gives Catan's advance charge for a CP? Yeah, I think you're on the right track. How does the hex mark get sus 1 on the Overwatch? Ooh, actually, let's look at that. Let me see how it reads. So the question was the hex mark. Does he benefit from the sus 1 in Overwatch? So makes an attack. So it could be a shooting or a melee attack. He does have the Destroyer Cult keyword. So he doesn't have to qualify for the closest eligible. He would get the sus 1 ability. And I believe the Overwatch strat says you shoot as if it were your shooting phase. So he would get the sus 1 on that ability. So Hexmark is super spicy in this, which is great. Let's see here. The Ultimate player in my group is Retro actually mad that people are most pissed about Titus than anything we got today. Nekrosor puts Titus to shame. I mean, I'm not gonna say a word. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. Can you explain why you see Xeris unless they don't have battle line? Because he's just good. I mean, he's just a good data sheet. The thing is that he's 165 points. That's a lone op that's extremely hard to kill. Because I'm kind of surprised. I don't want to put this out in the universe, but I'm just going to. The last data slate, how they hot fixed the was it the Guo? They took him from a 4-up to a 5-up feel no pain, and Xeris still kept the 4-up because 4-up feel no pains is it's very scammy because you're basically rolling 4s into 4s, and it just really messes with the math, and it does kind of create a lot of feel bad moments because if you just start rolling well, it's just not good. So that's why you do see him in lists without battle line. Like in the tournament I'm running this weekend, I'm running him without any battle line in Star Shatter because he's just good. So yeah, soon we're putting Necrons in C tier. Geo gives us 10-inch moves. So yeah, I think I mean, Necrons, I think now with these updates and the new data sheets, I think you could easily put them in A. I wouldn't put them in S tier per se. I think that's a little much because they're still going to run into some problems. But I mean, this definitely makes us better. Like, no doubt about it. And that's without even seeing the new detachments. Now, let's talk about the Pantheon of Woe for a second. Somebody had a question about that. What the new detachment is going to be. Obviously, it's going to be Catan, I think, at least that one, it seems like. And with Catan, there's so many different things that they could do. I think the most obvious one, like as far as stratagems, like 1 CP for advance and charge. 1 CP, I don't know, to go through walls probably. You could maybe 1 CP you could bring up a Satan at the end of your opponent's turn. That would be really cool. Like just 1 Satan, or maybe that's something like it's 2 CP. Stuff like that I think would be really cool. That might be too powerful. I don't know. Maybe that strat specifically is like 2 CP, or if it was 2 CP, but you could do it like in engagement range, that would be crazy. I think like a D6 react move, like 1 CP for like a D6 react move on a Catan would be interesting. And then like 1 CP to give it like lone op 18. That could be a really cool, like suite or something. Maybe that might be too good, too wishful. I don't know what the detachment rule would be though. Like, I don't know. It could be like all Catan in the detachment get like reroll 1s to hit or something like that. I don't know. Or maybe there's like a 1 CP like fight on death or something. I don't know. There's a lot of different things they could do. That'd be cool. And it is coming. I think the obvious one is maybe the detachment rules just they can advance and charge. Like Catan can advance and charge, and they probably wouldn't put reroll once they hit on there. That might be like too crazy good. But I mean, after seeing Nekrosor, anything's possible. So we'll just have to wait and see later this week. So let's see here. So I'll probably be on here for another like 10 to 15 minutes. So if you want to drop a question, I'll answer it. And then unfortunately, I have to get back to work. Yeah. So glad I finished my pile over the holidays. So I'm ready to go on Nekrosor. I feel like Hypercraft has some potential to be bonkers, dropping in a high volume unit. Yep. Yeah. Mitch Sports, definitely check out Warriors, Hypercrypt, Nekrosor. That's all I'll say. Build around that. I think it's very interesting. Yeah, even if it justifies flare reds, go then sus lethal with 20 shots is correct. Yeah, sus lethal and putting the plasmancer in there, crit 5s, crazy. Catan Monster Mash is fun today, even without detachment. Yeah, I mean, honestly, even without us getting a Catan detachment, if they're updating all the other data sheets or the Catans, like, I think that's already going to be interesting. So, like even in a teams format, because there's just some armies that just will not be able to deal with like 5 Catan, right? Or like I guess you could run 6, right? Three Transcendence, Void Dragon, Nightbringer, and what's his face, Deceiver. How many points do you expect the 2 new models to be? All right, if you're just joining, 2 new models, rumor has it right now. Don't quote me, but Nekrosor is supposed to be 165, crazy. Nightbringer, 315. One more question on the GT. When do I stop tweaking my list? You stop tweaking your list right now. Just get it to a place where you like it. Because the biggest thing in a GT, I don't know if you've actually practiced like playing on a clock, but really try to solidify your list at least like 2 weeks before. Try to limit changes, especially being like a newer player, and just getting those reps in, because the tournament will feel a lot better because you know your pieces, you know their roles, and you can kind of like it kind of relaxes your brain in a way, because your brain can kind of focus on other things in the match rather than focusing on how your list works, if that makes sense. So that would be my recommendation. And you're going to get 5 great games in, 5 great opponents, probably 5 different armies you haven't played yet. And so you'll get a lot of information after that tournament to figure out kind of where you want to pivot and what you want to change. So, let's see. Locusaur with Locusaur is also correct in my opinion. Potentially, I'm not super high on like I think the destroyers are good. But I think there's better options, but I could be wrong. I mean, I think maybe it's more just not my play style. I just don't like especially the Locust Destroyer brick is just so big. But I mean, them getting Suth lethals and the rerolls now and Hypercrypts, like it's interesting. It's for sure interesting. Yeah, sell more Tesseract Volts. Yeah, I mean, I really do want one, really bad. Because I would love to play Phalanx actually with this new tech. I think is super interesting. Yeah, crit 5s on 18, 522. Yeah, it's good. Okay, Megan saying I played on a clock once in RTT, but that's it. Yeah, just stick with the list, man. Just play it. And just have some fun. Do you think the new Nekrosor model on Xeris would be a fun combo with Warriors and Mortals? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, full transparency, that's kind of like the go-to I'm thinking about right now is mainly Awakened, without seeing the new detachments. Star Shatter is also interesting, but they do both revolve around Warriors, because you get the greatest synergy with Nekrosor's combo, and he also fixes the problem of a lot of units being able to one-shot the Warriors because he's able to heroic in with Fight First, which is extremely good. So very powerful. And he also benefits the Warriors, giving them a 5-up Feel No Pain against Psychic and what is it? Mortal Wounds or Dev Wounds. So very good. Brick and Hypercrypt, 6 score picture of the Veil of Darkness Awakened. Yeah. That absolutely too. Up down next to Nekrosor. You could do something like that too. The problem is that with the Veil, is you can't charge after using it, which is kind of a bummer. So like using it on a melee unit is not really ideal. You usually want to use it on some sort of like shooting unit. So you could even use it on like you could use it on a Warrior Brick and Awaken, which is also super interesting. So you could like pick them up and then drop them in somewhere next to Nekrosor, and then all of a sudden they're the closest eligible to what you want to shoot at, and then you just blow them up. It's great. So, yeah, we got another, like, I cannot believe there's like 150 of you in here. Like, actually crazy, man. Really appreciate the support, guys, and hanging out. I probably got like 5 more minutes here, and then I'm going to call it for the day because I have to get back to work. So, drop your questions. We got 5 minutes. Drop them now, or we will hang out in a couple days after we see those attachments, because then we're just going to have even more to talk about. So, but yeah, I think until I get questions here, I'm trying to think of any other thoughts or like combos. I mean, those were the main ones that we talked about earlier. If you join later, this will obviously go up on the channel so you guys can rewatch back the beginning part of the video if you guys missed it. That's where I kind of go over the data sheets and the combos, so check that out. But yeah, spoiler alert, there is a lot to test out, mainly with this one guy right here, Nekrosor. He just like unlocks so much potential, which is so cool. Do you think it might be a rework of other detachments, kind of like Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines got? Yeah, potentially. I mean, it's certainly possible. We'll have to see. I mean, we don't fully know yet, but we're going to know really, really soon. So, what time would you shoot to live stream detachment on whatever day they drop? Probably around this time again. It might be a little bit earlier. Today is like a little crazy for me work-wise, unfortunately. So I wish I could stay around, honestly, a little bit longer. It's hard to like focus because like this is just so freaking awesome. But yeah, it'd probably be around the same time. But we'll see when it's. I don't know. They haven't said specifically when they're going to drop it, but it sounds like it's going to be this week sometime. So it might be tomorrow, it might be Wednesday, it might be Thursday. Who knows? Thoughts on Deceiver with the new stat line on that small base? I honestly, I think he's very interesting. I can't tell you. If they all go to 10-inch movement, it opens up the door for a lot more interesting plays. Because now, again, same type of thing where you run the Deceiver in Star Shatter, for example. He moves 10. He's on a small base. You put him on the objective. He's OC 6. So a lot of standard units to start are usually OC 5 that are going to go deny a point. So it makes it awkward for your opponent. And he has stealth. So I think if he gets the same defensive glow up as the Nightbringer, he becomes very interesting. Very interesting for a very specific role in terms of holding your natural turn 1. Granted, yes, he doesn't do as much damage, but also his ability to redeploy. So if you're running flayed ones, which most of the time you are, you get the ability to drop the flayed ones down, deny your opponent's scout moves, right? Or deny your opponent's, infiltrate moves, and then you can just redeploy your flayed ones safely. Like, super strong combo. Also potential for Hike Smart for the double lone op deep strike and hyper. Yeah, like there's so much to test out, guys. So much to test out. It's going to be great. Fidium Brick's an option now. 30 text 422. Yeah. I mean, I don't dislike it. The only problem is that Ophidians are really squishy. So like a 6 brick is interesting, but I don't know if I love it that much. But could be something to try out. In the article, I'm gonna have to reread that article. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Does it say it in this article that I pulled up right here? Or is it in another article? Is it in this article? Where did they exactly say that? Also, great time. Situation. Oh, okay. Okay, I see right here, guys. All right, so if you're watching, all right, this will be a great finale here, okay? And then I do have to go. I love you guys, but I do have to go. So it's also picked up the ability to deep strike and has a boosted movement stat, which means it will be able to fight on its own terms more often than before. True. It's not just the Nightbringer who's getting these boosts either. The Deceiver, Void Dragon, and Transcendent all get some extra movement, save, and wounds to keep them on par with their morbid compatriot. Interesting. So the keyword is some extra movement. So that does not mean 10. Does not mean 10, all right? But it does mean some. So we will see. We will see. I think that's good. Obviously, that's good. If they make the Deceiver move 10, I'm just saying. I mean, honestly, though, even if they move 8, it just makes it so still they can guarantee get on the objective. If they move 10, it gives you the luxury to get that unit on the objective. They can still action, and then you still have a potential react move with Star Shatter. So I think there's a lot more interesting plays rather than running race to get on the midfield turn 1. So we will wait and see. If you all stuck around this long, I seriously appreciate you watching and all the support. The 150 of you in here, actually crazy. Feel free to drop a comment in this video down below and hang out. You know, just love this community and the Necron homies. And yeah, we will be back live later this week once they drop the detachments, and we're going to have a whole new world to talk about probably. And I am just as excited as you are. Hope you guys are having a great 2026, and we will catch you all very, very soon.